SFO, 1 p.m. A terminal full of people dying of boredom. Suddenly, the crowd snaps out of its collective coma. Why? Because a 4-foot-tall metal man named Bebop is strutting toward the gates like he owns the place. This thing costs $500 an hour to rent, and he's spending that time flashing neon blue eyes and posing for selfies. The crowd is losing it. Bebop and Sashade scans a literal paper ticket and sashays down the jet bridge like a total diva. Now, Bebop wasn't a stowaway. His handlers actually bought him a seat because he's too heavy and way too expensive to be tossed into the cargo hold like common luggage. They park him in an aisle seat, and for a second, he looks like a polite kid on his first trip. Then, the flight attendant shows up. She takes one look at this metal skeleton blocking the escape route and hits the nope button. You can't block the aisle, period. Bebop just keeps whirring his head, totally oblivious to the fact that he's about to become everyone's problem. Oh, but wait, it gets worse. The attendant checks Bebop's guts, specifically the battery. Her face goes stone cold. This thing is packing a lithium-ion battery that makes your dangerous power bank look like a AAA. We're talking potential fireball in a pressurized tube levels of risk. Her tone shifts from customer service to get this thing off my plane. The handlers are sweating bullets, trying to explain how safe it is. But the FAA manual doesn't have a he's just a cute little dancer exception. So, we've got a standoff. On one side, the crying robot nannies. On the other, a flight crew that is absolutely done with this day. In the middle, Bebop, just swinging his mechanical legs. Finally, someone has a genius idea. The robot's primary battery had to be physically removed and then shove him in the window seat. They hoist him over like a bronze statue, and the crew finally shrugs. Meanwhile, an entire hour of everyone's life has just vanished into the abyss. The flight actually makes it to San Diego, but by the time they land, the internet has already set itself on fire. Passengers who miss their connections are screaming into the digital void. People are asking the real questions. TSA confiscated my shampoo, but this giant battery gets a seat? The best comment. Spending $1,000 to delay a plane for an hour so your robot can feel special. Peak 2026. Bebop doesn't care. He's already powered down, dreaming of his next gig. Oh, the most ridiculous part? The TSA actually let him through. They thought his little dance was hilarious. See, the TSA looks for bombs. Batteries are the airline's problem. It took a dancing tin man and a giant battery to expose the gap between two different bureaucracies. Bebop didn't break the law. He just fell through the cracks and took a whole plane down with him for 60 minutes of fame. We've had our laugh. We've seen the clips of Bebop dancing through the terminal and everyone raising their phones to capture the future. But now that the dust has settled and the dopamine has faded, we need to look at what actually happened on Southwest Flight FUM68. Because this wasn't just a quirky travel delay. It was a systemic failure hidden behind a friendly, chrome face. Let's start with the most unsettling part. How easily we were charmed into complacency. Oh, Bebop didn't just pass through TSA. He exploited a loophole in our own psychology. This is the halo effect in its purest form. By waving and taking selfies, the robot built a deep sense of psychological trust. The security team stopped seeing a heavy piece of industrial equipment and started seeing a high-tech guest. But physics doesn't care about charm. While everyone was distracted by the performance, a massive, uncertified lithium battery was being wheeled onto a pressurized aircraft. We have a massive disconnect here. TSA looks for malicious intent, bombs and weapons. But they aren't trained for operational safety, like battery wattage or biomechanical stability. If that plane had hit severe turbulence, or if that battery had entered thermal runaway, that cute robot would have turned into a lethal projectile or an unquenchable fire. Our safety was traded for a spectacle. But was this truly a mistake? Or was it a masterpiece of viral marketing? When you look closer, the logic falls apart. The company behind Bebop is composed of professionals. They know the FAA rules better than anyone. So, putting a robot with an oversized battery in an aisle seat, the one spot guaranteed to trigger a safety violation, feels less like an oversight and more like a strategy. They created a controlled clash. They got the high-energy entrance, the viral standoff, and finally, the emotional image of the robot humbled in a window seat. It's brilliant storytelling, but it comes with a hidden cost. The brand got millions in free exposure, while the actual human beings on that flight paid the price in missed connections and lost time. We weren't just witnesses. Our frustration was the fuel for their publicity. Ultimately, Bebop isn't just a one-off joke. He is a symptom of the speed gap, the space between our exponential technology and our linear, lagging regulations. But there's something even more concerning here. Oh, why did we, as a public, let this happen? It's because technology like Bebop is designed to hijack our attention. Our brains are hardwired to prioritize faces and social signals. We look at the waving hand and ignore the fire hazard. We become so fixated on the novelty that we forget to ask where our own dignity and safety sit on the priority list. We don't need to fear the future, but we do need to demystify it. We need to stop being the unpaid extras in a corporate stunt. The next time a miracle of tech enters our public space, let's look past the dance moves. Let's look at the safety gaps, the shifted risks, and the cost being passed on to us. Because if we don't hold the line for our own security and time, who will?